Live. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. And this is the McNugget Gang. Hold for laughter.
Boo.
Boo this man.
We are back in our adventure into Baldur's Gate in Descent into Avernus. And I am going to quickly hand this off over to our DM, Lucentile, to give an update or recap of what happened last time.
So, surprisingly, a whole lot happened, but not a lot of time passed last time. So, the party had arrived at the Low Lantern looking to talk to Amric Vantamper to find out more about his family and to try and get some hard evidence against his mother. Arriving at the boat, things went wrong when Zamar tried to burn it down. It then spiraled even further out of control when the party found out that Amric was being sort of held hostage, we'll call it, by Kashara, a spined devil. Things finally fell apart when McNee Smasher remembered he hated devils and attacked. The Low Lantern has now sunk due to some sort of external force blowing up the boat, the party fighting a devil on the boat, and the party also learned that a whole bunch of people from Elturel had been holed up at the bottom of the boat, but they did not learn this until after the boat had been sinking. And so you can't really hold it against them that they failed to save a bunch of people they didn't know existed.
Oh, I think you can.
We sure can, and maybe we should. Does anyone have any questions about what happened last time before we pick back up?
Did we save any of them? Like one?
Literally, the answer is no. Because I think that actually, technically, if Zamar hasn't told you that he saw people like in their drowning, I think the rest of you may not actually know.
And Zamar did actually try to save one.
Yes, I did try, but the imps stopped me.
Yes, because imps are jerks.
It's almost like they're evil or something.
Evil imps. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Imps
yeah, there
aren't
also
evil.
were imps. An important fact that should be recalled. In addition, let me pull up my list of things that the party has not yet done that you should remember too. Wow, I misspelled that word. On your way to the Low Lantern, your friend Edric had met with a guy named Skadric, who was an old member of his squad who had invited him to come out tonight to talk about old times, basically. And then you also still have a pirate ship you want to go get. I believe the name of the pirate ship is the Uncivil Servant. It's on your to-do list.
So, has the ship pulled the moorings off?
No, you remember Baldur's Gate is currently in lockdown. No one's supposed to be coming in or out.
No, I mean the ship, the Low Light Tavern. Because it's clearly moored. Is it like, did it rip off the like pylons it was tied to and sink, or is it like just half of the water?
It's as sunk as it can get in the bay. So yes, it's a mess. It's gone forever, and it's almost all your fault.
It's like a balloon. It's like a balloon that's been like after the party like 5 or 6 days, and it's kind of like just hanging from the string just down, and it's in the water.
I seem to recall that based upon the appearance of the man that was trying to get out, that I assumed that he was a citizen of Elturel.
Correct. You recognized it. It was stuff that was fashionable in Elturel, which, as opposed to Baldur's Gate, where there really is no sense of real fashion unless you go to the upper city. There's even like the poor people in Elturel have a certain style and flair about them.
And we have the sleazy man here with us, right?
Yes, you have Amric Vanthamper, who is looking a little defeated as he is surrounded in part by you guys, the two drow who helped everyone else escape, and the very angry Captain Lara. I'm never pronouncing her name right.
What? Wait, repeat that?
The Captain Laura Lara?
Elra?
Okay. I heard Laura. I'm like, wait.
Laura Elra. Yeah, the captain who owned this.
I don't question it.
It's not
you're
the
just
stupidest
you're just here for the
name.
ride.
I love the idea of a captain of the ship that never leaves port.
Well, it did previously, but then she was like, wait, I don't have to go risk my life every day.
And suddenly she becomes a cook.
I pull out my dagger and hold it to Emmerich throat and say, how many people were in the hold?
There were maybe a dozen, and it's all your fault. Until you all came along, everything was working fine. I was paying off the flaming fist to look the other way. We were getting refugees into the city, finding them work. And then you come along, and you blow everything up. The captain interjects here, including my boat!
I would like to point out that it was one of your people who blew the boat up, not one of our people. I just smashed the devil.
And he only wanted to burn the boat, not blow it up.
The captain turns to Amric and says, and you're going to pay me for this.
Was that at us or?
No. She's turning to the guy who is rich beyond all get out, as opposed to a bunch of scummy low lives who have no money, as far as she can tell.
Real quick,
fair.
Do we actually know who blew the boat up? Because I know we technically didn't blow the boat up. All we did was smash the devil. Like, who actually blew the boat up? Do we know that?
That's actually what Amric is going to say is, why would I blow up the boat? Now that all of the people that we were getting into Baldur's Gate are dead, no one's going to do business with me anymore.
Can I roll? So I was never in the boat, so I don't know anything about the Spine Devil.
Right.
Can I roll a knowledge to or do I just know where imps come from and kind of their origin?
Yeah, no, I think you all are adventurers to some degree and have had some personal interactions with the lower planes, so you're very familiar with devils and all of that. And if you recall, you did find something. Where's my handout?
Oh wait, yeah, never mind.
Remember you found this about the Pact Primeval? So yes, you all know the basics of devilry and devilment.
Where did this come from? I forget.
Imps are not capable of causing that much destruction, no? Like, for something to blow a hole in the side of a ship, it has to be pretty big, right?
Or some form of, fiery explosion that you didn't have your hands on to begin with when you tried to set the boat on fire.
So you are correct that imps on their own probably don't have any way to, they don't know fireball or things like that. However, they could have found some way to blow up the boat because they are intelligent creatures. Where did you find this Pact Primeval? It was the results of one of the many early knowledge checks we made dealing with demons and devils, because it's super important to the plot and really should have been explained in the module at some point what all that is.
But it's like super not normal for the imps to be here, correct? Like that should set off warning bells in my head.
Yes, definitely. Imps don't just, well, actually they do kind of just run around and cause terror and mischief, but more than likely they're not native to Baldur's Gate, so someone brought them here for something.
I feel like I'm just going to assume that Amric is behind it. So, with my knife still in his throat.
Right.
Who summoned the imps?
Give me an intimidation check.
Ow.
I'm sorry. It should have been with advantage because you do have your giant posse of angry people and pretty much no one here likes Amric. Am I correct?
Correct.
Can I assist him with that intimidation?
Can I give him guidance?
I think guidance, no, because you didn't know what was about to happen, and you could have assisted him if he didn't already have advantage, because that's all assisting does. But yes, the 21 is more than enough. Amric, seeing that he's not talking his way out of this situation, like puts his hands up and says, "Well, I mean, obviously, there's only one person who would possibly benefit from trying to frame my mother and who has access to devils, and that's my brother Thirstwell."
Which one's Thirstwell? Is Thirstwell the slimy one? I keep calling them all slimy.
I know.
The one that was outside the chambers.
No, that was Amric. Amric is the slimy one, as you call him, but he's really not slimy. He's actually very clean cut, very well dressed, very much like the snobby upper class patriarch that he is. Thirstwell, you haven't met personally, but from what you've learned in the past, you know that he is the oldest of the brothers, and he has been crippled since birth in some fairly horrible disfigurement, whereas Mortlock had his face burned, and that wasn't really how he was born. Thirstwell is basically just some sort of hunchback who has trouble even like walking around and never really leaves the manor.
I couldn't help but notice he said frame his mother, so we were supposed to go take care of her. Is she not our primary concern?
Is that a question out loud, or is that a question trying to remember what happened last time?
Yes.
You just say right in front of him loudly. Were we supposed to take care of his mother?
It wasn't she bad?
Are we supposed to smash her in the face? Like hammers and swords?
I say to the party and not to him then?
I mean, he still hears you, and he says, "No, look, my mother, she's a patriarch. She's noble in Baldur's Gate, so yes, she has to get her hands dirty. But look at what she was having me do. We were trying to smuggle people into Baldur's Gate through past the Flaming Fist. It's you assholes who are keeping everyone outside starving."
I'm disinclined to believe this man. Can I incite him?
Sure, you can, but I mean, I don't know if you're going to get any much more than you are disinclined to believe this man. So you don't think what he's saying is true, but you also get the feeling that he actually does believe that his mother is not the one that you should be looking for. He either really loves his mother or really hates his brother, or maybe a little of column A and B.
So what you're saying is we killed them both.
Both.
I was going to say nod to McNee Smasher. He's got two perfectly intact knees right now. dot.
Let's get some more information here. Someone tie him down.
Just something I happened to notice.
We're gonna misery his kneecaps.
Captain starts looking around and is like, well, I'm all for torturing people who cost me my entire life savings and everything. Maybe out here where everyone can see, is it the best place to start torturing the son of the last remaining duke anyone is actually going to do anything about?
Do you have a suggestion for where we could go?
Oh, well, I mean, you can do whatever you want to him. I don't care. I'm just not going to be involved in this if it goes that far.
I grab him by the scruff of his neck and I start pulling him back to our little tavern inn thing that we got going on.
Answer
how?
Yeah, I was gonna say, short man.
Oh, I am going to just grab and pull. I am grabbing him by the scruff of his neck, but I'm probably just like grabbing his pants and just dragging him along. Because remember, in this whole group, I am the biggest and tallest one here.
So Matt, and previously there was a spell called Sea Invisibility.
There sure was. Still is, I believe.
Still is. My question, I guess
I'm feeling threatened by this knife right now.
How many miles away is he?
I don't know why I wasn't holding this as a prop, but I was doing that earlier.
That's what I assumed it was there for, and you just forgot about it until
cut my meat. but it seems reasonable, but the imps might still be nearby. I don't think there's any way I can try to find them.
So, you know enough about imps that if someone could detect good and evil, or perhaps see invisibility, or perhaps detect magic, there are many ways to do it, but it's going to probably require someone to actually actively use a resource, not just think about it really hard. Does anyone have a resource they would like to use?
I have spent it.
I don't have anything that'll help.
All right, so you go ahead, you cast detect magic. So within 30 feet of you, you sense magic. So I assume none of your friends are hiding any magic on them you don't know about. Laura Lelra has her spell book, and that's about it. That's the only thing she managed to save from her boat. Amric is carrying some sort of illusionary magic on an inside pocket of his. And the two drow who have scattered all of the people have no magic on them. Oh no, wait, one of the flying daggers survived. So yes, that's Laurelra's flying dagger. So that's all of the magic you can sense within the 30 feet of you.
Understood. Is it in his breast pocket?
It's like an inside pocket, so you could see it because it's obviously not.
I pull out his shirt and I pull it out, whatever it is.
It's a tiny glass marble. He looks at it and he's like, "Can I have that back, please?"
I'm surprised he just let him take it. Like,
I mean, what's he gonna do?
I mean, he's kind of small. Yeah,
but there's like 5 of you, and then there's the 2 drow who are just kind of watching. Like he's not in a I could fight this and win position.
I'm not letting you escape. Whatever this is, you're not going to be able to use it. I pocket it.
You could ask him what it is.
I don't trust the man.
Oh well, that's mine. You can't just steal from me.
I'm sorry, are we making deals with devils?
I didn't make any deal with a devil. Did it look like I was in control there?
No.
I'm just gonna turn and kind of look at my fellow people.
Cleric wasn't paying attention. I don't know what happened. No.
Apparently, someone made a deal with the devil.
What's it do?
Can I have it back if I tell you?
It depends if you can use it to escape or not.
Depends on what it does, yeah.
Ultimate bead of destruction.
Well, it's actually fairly simple. It's a small smoke cloud, and it creates an illusory double of yourself.
So no, you don't get it back. But thanks for being honest. Maybe once we turn you in, you can have it back.
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
Wait, who did we just take this from?
From Amric.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought we took it from our other dude, Edric.
No.
Okay, less. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, you don't think he's holding anything back.
I'd like to insight him as well.
Still dragging him. Trying to drag him.
Lyra has a slightly different opinion on whether he's holding anything back. You can't tell what exactly, but there was something that came way too easily for your suspicious, roguish mind for him to have just told you everything up front.
Yeah, sure, that's what it does. Or maybe it makes a portal between here and the Hells. I say pointedly at him.
Throw it on the ground, see what happens.
Oh god, no.
Maybe we won't do that.
No.
I still want to get the beans.
Oh, we're totally planting some beans.
Edric has a solution. I did prepare Identify today.
Why?
Edric, you've been so much more useful since we've given you all those spell books. It's really turned you around in our eyes. You're just such a proficient wizard now. I hand it to him.
Well, give me one moment. And so he
10 minutes later.
pulls out his little pearl. And while he's doing that, we do have one small thing we need to resolve beforehand, which let me search around in my notes for it.
So wait, when the boat's set, because we're in a harbor, so I don't imagine it should be that deep. Like, are parts of the boat still sticking out?
No, like, okay. This is what I don't understand about Baldur's Gate. Apparently, right outside Baldur's Gate is super deep because like reading all of the books, they're like all of the stuff in the back. It's like, oh yeah, no, like the Hagen swim out from here. Like boats get sunk in the harbor if they don't give treasure. Like apparently it's just super deep water, like right by Baldur's Gate. I don't understand it. I assume it's because it's part of the fantasy world, or they didn't do a good job of, explaining it. Possibility 3. No one there worked on boats in their lives, and so they were just like, it makes sense. It's a boat. Water should be deep.
Video game logic. It's where the edge of the map is.
Why is our ship suddenly coming apart?
Why are there tentacles everywhere?
Why did the sky just suddenly get red?
A, because, sailors should take warning. B, tentacles are a normal part of the ecosystem of the ocean.
I was talking about krakens.
I was talking about CFEs.
So was I.
Right. Anyway, the one thing that we needed to do beforehand is, if we recall, Lyra did almost die.
Nah, she's fine.
Right, she's better now.
Oh, finally! Yay! The last character hook is revealed.
You don't know how happy I was when I was like, oh my god, she's so ridiculously out of position with her meat shields. It was great. Anyway, so, but in that brief period of time, Lyra, while you were almost dead before you were fixed and then almost dead again, you did have a vision, and it started in a deep cavern that you recognized fairly immediately as something called the Underdark. You're probably familiar enough with this. There are 2 figures here. One is familiar to you now. You wouldn't have recognized it earlier, but it is the Amnesu. Let me see if we have his name here. Yes, the Amnesu Ulathar, who you might remember from the Dungeon of the Dead 3. He still has his large ornate staff that has the 3 gold coins, 2 of which are pulling towards you frantically. And sitting in the room as well is, I think I actually have a picture of this man. Give me 1 second.
I think you showed him before. You should have the picture.
Oh, no, not Ulathar. I don't think I need... If you want a picture of him, I can get an easy picture of random Amnesu. But
that's okay.
Yeah, it's next chapter. Sorry, it's not the easiest thing to find. Hopefully this just shows the picture. It does! That is the person who is sitting on the throne here in the Underdark.
Why does it look like Puck?
Well, I think Lyra probably would recognize him. I want to say he is definitely a fey creature of some sort, and they're sitting there, and they both look at you as you appear, with the man on the throne giving that large, disconcerting smile he has right there and clapping his hands together. The Amnesu is the first of the 2 to speak and says that this soul belongs to me. I've put in a lot of work and effort. Remove your protection or we'll have it out in Phlegethos. Phlegethos. Yes, that's how it's pronounced. the Fae looks at you and looks at Lyra and says, "Welcome, welcome here. I'm so surprised to see you already."
I did a pretty good job of not dying so far, but okay. Do I know you?
You don't know me, but I know your family. They made a small mistake and indiscretion in their past, and I came along to try and act as a buffer. You see, your soul originally was sold to this Amnesu, and then I intervened to take it back. But it seems to me, and this is where it gets funny, Ulathar, it seems to me that she's already bargained her soul to someone else.
Cleric will be right back.
Ulathar, the Amnesu, looks at you and he's, approaching in his big, slimy mass of himself. And he doesn't seem to believe it as he looks at you. And then he says, "Who have you made a pact with, human?"
I took the creed resolute, but that was just a formality.
The Fae is laughing hysterically at that. Oh,
What?
It seems to me that it's not me you're going to have to deal with in Phlegethos, Ulathar. No, you're going to have to deal with someone much, much more dangerous. The Amizu does not seem pleased with this turn of events.
Like a
Oh, so either way, Ulathar, since you won't be claiming her soul today, we have no need for you here. The Amnesu is a little bit frightened, and as the Fae laughs, you see the Amnesu sort of glare at you. "Oh, I'll have what's mine. Maybe not today, but I will have this soul." And then the Fae, after Ulathar leaves, the Fae comes down and says, "Well then, what are we going to do with you?"
Maybe you could tell me who you are.
"Oh, I see. You have no idea what's going on. That makes this even more entertaining for me. I am the one known as Smiler. I had another name. I've had many names, but that's the one that everyone here in this God's forsaken place knows me as. Now then, I managed to spare you just this once, and I'm going to ask for a favor in return next time we meet."
Spare me from.
Well, at first I was going to say I was sparing you from living in one of Ulathar's soul coins, but I think I've actually spared you from something far, far worse than that.
What would that be?
That. Oh my goodness, you don't even know what that creed is that you agreed to.
It was just a silly thing that the people at Elturel follow.
The Fae is laughing uproariously now. "Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. People have been damned over silly things that other people believe all the time. Oh, my, oh, my." So, I think that I can't tell you anymore. It's not my place, and it seems as though your friends are going to be saving you any second now. But yes, don't make any more agreements when you don't read the fine print.
Wait, before you go, you said you knew my family?
Oh, yes. Yes, I did.
How?
Oh, we met before.
Did they make a deal with someone?
They did. They were Ulathar's first souls. They, like you, didn't know what they were agreeing to. Once they learned, they came to me to try and save you. And We almost did. And then you ruined it. But it's all right. You'll make things right. Or not. I've done my half of the bargain. I'll see you later. Maybe. And that's when you woke back up, and we are now caught back up with everyone. Do you have any questions for the rest of the group now that you're brought up to speed?
No, Lyra's just gonna think about things.
That's fair. So now the question is, what is the group doing with Amric?
I'm still trying to drag him back to the inn.
Oh, you're going back to the inn.
Unless someone's stopping me.
Yeah, drag away.
Amric is letting himself be dragged, though he muses out loud, like, I wonder what would happen if I just screamed very, very loudly. I mean, I am a patriarch, after all. What would ever happen to all of you if you were just seen dragging a man of my esteem and standing around?
Can I just pick him up and gag him and then continue with the dragging? And by dragging, I mean carrying.
You're speaking very bravely for someone who could be transported unconsciously.
Put him in the sack.
What is it with sacks?
I second the vote of putting him in the sack.
We have a sack?
Sure, why not?
We'll make one.
We'll find one.
I'm 90% convinced all adventurers have sacks of some sort.
Or we'll find a barrel and just roll him down the street.
Does anyone have a bag of holding?
No to the bag of holding. Not just because we don't have one, but because people can die. There's a limited amount of air in those things. Look, we have some. Oh,
We just gotta open the top every now and again.
It's one of those things that you didn't realize you learned until you learned it.
Yeah. It's like dropping the bag of holding into a never-ending supply of water. That gets fun quick. So I just turn to him. I say, will you willingly come with us or no?
I mean, if you'll tell me where we're going.
Insert name of inn here. I have many questions, but I don't want to have questions out in the middle of the street.
Oh,
So
yeah.
just cast sleep on him.
No.
Drinking with the common man. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. Let's go. It'll be fun.
Cool. Can I still hold on to you just in case?
Do you want to hold my hand, little one?
Look both ways before crossing the street.
Excuse me, sir. You are the little one when compared to me. And I grab his hand, squeeze it as hard as I can to kind of assert my dominance and start dragging him along again.
He's so adorable.
Strength check.
Just look at him go.
Yeah,
Strength
no,
check,
no.
strength check.
You're dragging him.
Yes!
So you're dragging him along.
Feels like a tickle.
Dragging.
Does anyone have anything for either of the drow or the captain before you abandon them?
It's like a Scrappy Doo moment. Like, you just see me dragging him, but my feet are going, but he's not moving.
Did Edric tell us what the pearl did?
Oh, so he was telling you half of it. The other thing breaking this pearl does is it sends a pre-recorded sending spell to his mother. I would advise not breaking this.
Do you know what the pre-recorded message is?
No, that part of the information isn't available. I just know what the spell is that will be cast and the target.
Thank you very much. I take it back.
Sure thing.
Not that I don't trust Edric, but we go through our cohort of NPCs rather quickly.
We haven't lost any yet. In fact, I'm pretty sure Lulu's the one who actually fell. Well, I mean, I guess Edric fell.
We trade them out frequently.
Ah, gotcha.
Fair enough. So, I guess the group you're going back to Elf Song Tavern. All right. Getting there is uneventful, all told. Besides your friends, Tarina is at the bar, looking more and more impatient as the day goes on. But let me go look over at the Elf Song Tavern page before I move things around, just to make sure all of the tokens we need are there.
Is he going to sing at us again?
No. Yeah, I think I could just move the thing. Where is Elf Song Tavern? There it is.
Oh, I forgot about all that. Can we clean that up, please?
Well, while you're doing that, let me find. I need to grab a token for Amric.
It's a party. Everyone's invited. Everyone's
But
got
leave
a
the
hat.
cat. Leave the cat.
I had a cat. Where's the cat? Oh, there's the cat.
Nope, I can't delete it. Whoever green is has to start deleting things.
Oh, how do I delete?
Select tool and then just start clicking on things. There's not a way just to clean the page, is there?
I can kind of like
move
them away.
Oh, can you not delete it either?
It's not letting me.
Someone's deleting it.
No, I'm just moving it into the blackness.
Okay, that works. That's probably the easiest.
Leave the dress on the troll guard. Oh.
I'm sorry. I've been told. Oh, whoever pink was, the heart can stay.
We don't have a pink.
Haha, it stays forever.
All right, and then we have the area. Oh, something just disappeared.
Oh, apparently I could control some players. Oh, they're in blackness and I cannot see them any longer.
Yeah, we're missing a tiefling. There we are.
Why can't I control all of them?
Because
only those.
Matt set it to, yeah. I'm pretty sure I have, nope, I have those guys too.
I moved some of the horses too.
Bye, horses.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, I did what I was told to do, and anything after that is Frank's fault.
I'll take it.
Honestly, I thought that we had gotten rid of all of that previously. Let's paste new horses here. All right. Do we have anything else we need to do? Because I think that's everybody. Good. Excellent. So now that you've brought Amric here, and when you bring him in, everyone does stop what they're doing and look up, because he
Record
is still,
screech.
Yeah, he is still, dressed to the nines, and he like tips his hat like overly dramatically to all of them.
Ugh.
Like he gives them like that big, like what he thinks is like a big cheery teethy smile, but it's actually kind of like he's trying too hard, and so it's coming off more smarmy than charming.
So it's kind of creepy.
I mean, it's hard to be creepy when he's being dragged around by a halfling. It's more
dragged around.
We'll stick with slimy. He's very slimy.
Skeezy.
There, that's a good word. Anyway, so you bring him upstairs. Did we lose Edric?
I may have misplaced him.
He just got put up there. Sorry, I try to keep the PCs and the not PCs separated.
Oh, is that what the N stands for?
I think it's technically non-player character, but that's not what I thought of at the time. Anyway, when you bring him up there, your friends, Lulu is now groggy but awake.
Go give your Lulu a hug.
Yes, she's very excited to see you all. She's not flying around. She's just sort of on the table.
Does she smell more devil on a certain wannabe halfling?
No, there's no real. She doesn't really respond much more than a hello. She's just kind of there. And Amric sort of looks around and he's like, "Oh, Hell Riders. This is an interesting group you have here."
Not interesting enough.
So, tell me, what proposition did you bring me here for? Business? Do you need a loan? What exactly are we here for?
Why a loan? Why would we need a loan?
Oh, well, that's usually why people came to me before we got into the unsuccessful attempt at transportation.
I could use a loan for plate mail.
Okay. Well then, let me go back and let me see what our funds are, and then I can draw up some paperwork, figure out the interest. Here's where you remember, Mortlock did say that he actually is very good with money, and it's one of the things that Mortlock may have mentioned to you, that he actually goes out of his way. He enjoys handling money, not like sitting there like counting coins like Scrooge McDuck. He's like he makes money, not necessarily in legitimate ways, but like he enjoys it, and it's a passion of his, accounting. This is not helping him seem cool, is it?
Does he have enough for a plate mail?
He can help me afford plate mail.
Not on me. I would need to go back home, gather up some money. Well, didn't think that would work. So, what are we really here for?
Well, maybe you can start by telling us who is staying at your mother's house that might have info on El Terrell.
As far as I know, Mother didn't have any guests. She received a strange package from El Terrell. It was in our last business deal with them maybe a month or two ago.
Where's this package?
She didn't trust it with me. She said that it was outside my area of expertise and gave it to Thirstwell to investigate.
Totally suspicious.
It is. Go ahead. No one's passive insight triggered anything, but if anyone wants to make an active check, they can.
Is that perception, investigation, insight?
Insight.
God, I am just rolling shit today.
So, Ariel picks up that, again, Amric seems wounded that he was left out of the loop on whatever was going on, but the fact that he mentioned Thirstwell, he also mentioned that Thirstwell might have had something to do with the devils. It's possible, though he hasn't specifically came out and told you, that Thirstwell may be inclined more towards magic than our friend Amric here is, and that might be why he's the one doing whatever investigating is happening.
And is Thirstwell responsible? Oh, I still don't know about the spine demon. Never mind.
I think at this point we've brought up the demon at least once.
A devil, very important.
Whatever.
For the rest
Big
of the
difference.
Whatever. They all go smash under hammers. It's all that matters.
Actually, some go scoosh.
Whatever. Then some go to smoke. Doesn't matter. They're all the same.
Right. So assume now that that the party has shared the information that they have with each other.
Is Thirstwell responsible for that spine devil, or is the spine devil?
I would assume so. Who else would make a deal with a creature like that?
Wrong way.
Well, it is Baldur's Gate. That is true. There could be any number of people who are responsible for summoning a devil in Baldur's Gate, but I'd think it would be Thirstwell.
Who are the other likely candidates?
Do you have time for a list of half the people in Baldur's Gate? And that's only because the other half don't have the skill to.
I was more probing for like an arcane society rather than individuals.
Well,
the Red Wizards of Thay, anyone?
there have been two very active cults in the city recently. The cult of Tiamat that you were there. Oh, that's right. That's where I know you from. You're the little shit that threw a hammer at me.
I don't know what you're talking about. And you're lucky I missed.
Sneezed.
And then there's the Cult of the Dead 3. I believe Mortlock was involved with them somehow. It's not like him. He's usually not one for subterfuge. Speaking of which, I haven't seen Mortlock in... Well, he tries never to see me. I don't think he likes me much. I don't understand. I understand getting passed over, but can you really, Mom tried to get him to, learn something useful, but he never really wanted to be part of the family. And then there was that whole incident with, well, the point is, I'm worried about him. Have you...
Sorry, the incident what?
Oh, so when Mortlock was younger, and ever since then, he's had an issue with, how can I put this delicately? With, well, let's just say that you shouldn't leave your women alone with him. Mother cleans up after him. It's one of the most distasteful things in our family.
I know where you're going with this, but I just have this image of just not that image.
Yes, the point is that I've tried to, get him help, find him a place where he can just be alone, but the simple fact is he was very, very good at some of the things that Mother needed someone she trusted to do. And, well...
Like killing the Cult of the Dead 3.
Well, if he was involved in that, maybe something good has come out of him.
It's not the reaction I was expecting.
Either way, he might be involved, but I don't think he has the capability to summon a devil.
So, Thirstwell, like candidate, is in the house. Where are the secret passages to get in the house undetected?
Secret passages? Please. Now, I know that there's all sorts of rumors because, again, Mother did come up from the common folk. It's a bit of our history she takes an undue amount of pride in. And yes, part of that was through renovation of the sewer networks and the catacombs, but all these rumors of secret passageways into the Vantamper Manor, that's just crazy talk. Or they never told me, because sometimes Thirstwell and Mother don't tell me things.
How do your I'm assuming you have servants of some kind. How do they get in and out of the compound?
Well, so many of them live there. Mother keeps a room for them because she wants them available at all times of the day and night. There is a back door that is a servant's entrance, and she prefers them to go.
Why has the map turned into just darkness?
Oh, did I accidentally drag you so that... Yep, sorry. I dragged you because I'm currently looking at the map so that I give you the right information, and I forgot that drag you you would just see darkness.
That was a little scary there for a moment.
So where's the servant entrance you said about?
At the back of the manor.
Oh, okay. Do you have... No, you probably wouldn't be able to help with that.
I'm an amazingly resourceful person.
Key to the house.
Yeah.
When I show up, they open the door. Why would I need a key?
Can you take us in?
Well, that's an interesting question. I suppose we could just walk in. Mother did tell me I should make more friends.
We're your friends?
We're the best of friends. Do.
What a nerd.
Lulu asks, "Are we friends? Is this another best friend of ours?"
Yes, Lulu. Give them a hug. Give him a hug. Just go ahead.
Just don't trust him fully yet.
Lulu asks if there's any other friends she shouldn't trust.
Lulu, you should trust anyone I tell you to.
That seems to work for Lulu. Amric says that you want to just walk in. I mean, it would be rude. Like maybe he should like send an invitation, arrange like a nice meeting with his mother. Like maybe not walking in off the street would be advisable.
I mean, where do you do your business? Do you do your business in an office? Do you do business at home?
I used to do my business on a very nice boat.
I feel like he's trying to blame us for something, but I'm not quite sure what.
Yeah, I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know. Just one of those unanswered mysteries.
But yes, if you would like, I could go and I could arrange a dinner for tomorrow night with you, Mother. I guess Thirstwell would have to be there. He's technically the man of the house at the moment.
I'm not a fan of giving our enemies prep time for traps.
Yes, I appreciate how forthcoming you're being, but what do you get out of this arrangement?
Well,
Friend.
For one thing, I get to walk out of here alive. That's high on my list of priorities in this negotiation. And two, it gives me a chance to prove to you that it's that dirty bastard Thirstwell and not my mother who's to blame.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
I'd like to point out to anyone in general who may not realize it, but we did kind of save your life, Amric. Because if you recall, before we started fighting with the Spine Devil, he was trying to force you to drink poisoned drink.
Yeah, I understand that. And that's why another reason I don't believe that my mother's involved. Because you may not be aware of this, but while normally the inheritance would go to Thirstwell, or Mortlock as they're the older, she's chosen to pass over them both. In part because of Mortlock's problems, and because, well, Thirstwell is a twisted cripple of a man who hates everyone and everything, and wants nothing more than to leave Baldur's Gate forever behind. And, well, you can't exactly be an institution in Baldur's Gate if everyone knows it just takes one good business deal to get the Patriarch family to leave. And so, I'm the heir apparent. Why would my mother try and kill me?
Immortality?
Well, I mean, would you kill someone for immortality?
If it would allow me to be at my king's side for all eternity, maybe.
Yes, but, well, the point is, Mother wouldn't do that.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I'm more sure about that than I am that Thirstwell wouldn't do that, the little bastard.
I'm in favor of either trying to see if this works or just sneaking in the back entrance, whatever y'all want.
I'm all for crashing a dinner party. So I am all for doing a dinner party and then thoroughly crashing it afterwards.
Did
I'm
we
all for
want
food.
did we want an audience with her?
Resources, because resources.
But did we want an audience with Duke Van Thumper?
I mean, we're putting them in the same room together. That's very helpful for us. We don't have to find them.
And what excuse are you going to use to invite us to this prestigious dinner?
Well, now that I remember who you all are,
We're friends.
You are friends. You saved her life. She owes you a favor. Certainly an audience with her is more than enough to make up for that.
I seem to recall
Saved her apparently favorite son.
It's best she not know about all of the details of what happened today.
Oh. And why's that?
I mean, would you want to tell your mother about how you utterly failed?
We kind of messed up the family business.
Yes, it's just going to get blamed on, the people of the lower city. They sometimes destroy things. It's a cost of doing business.
Yeah, I hear some of those people just like to start fires on boats for no reason.
It just happens.
It's a bad neighborhood, man.
Really?
It used to be so good, too.
It never was.
Until those damned adventurers moved in.
And their pesky dog, too.
Hey.
Dog is one thing you're missing. You have a rat, and you have 5 horses.
Lulu.
No dog.
Lulu is our Scooby.
I was going to say our fake dwarf, Scrappy Doo.
I'm totally scrappy.
Oh, God. That's what it is, isn't it?
Let me at him. Let me at him.
I mean, either he follows through or this blows up in our face and we have to do it the hard way.
I mean, we've done everything the hard way so far, so, why not take the chance for easy and then go the hard way? Also, that's what he said.
Well, I think that everyone wins, Amric says. And who knows? At the end of this, if once we prove Thirstwell is the lying, devil-worshipping bastard that he is, you'll have made powerful friends in the Van Tamper family.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Do you have any suggestions for how we might expose Thirstwell as in league with the devil?
Does he have any workshop outside the house that we could find evidence in to prove to your mother?
It requires one of the guards to carry him when he wants to go downstairs. He's not leaving the manor house.
Without magic or help.
Yeah, I suppose if he had magic, but if he hadn't good enough magic to leave the house, why wouldn't he just fix himself? You can do that with magic, right? Mother says it's really expensive, and that's why she's never bothered to do it.
I would like to take this time to remind everyone that there is a battle wheelchair now accessible in Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my god.
Mayhap you can walk us by his magic workshop on the way to the dinner, but to just point it out to us so that we might be able to.
It's literally in his bedroom,
Which is upstairs. Never mind, we can find it, or you can give us directions.
If only we had a rat that someone could communicate with.
Rhea points to the flying Holofont, or that. We have that too.
She.
It's a they.
I thought we've been calling her she, because Lulu.
I think we've been calling her.
Yeah, technically as a celestial, I don't think that there are there's no actual Holofont reproduction going on in the world, but she hasn't seemed to mind. But
I was gonna say you could always ask Lulu.
Rhea is also not known for
Hey, Lulu, move your trunk so we can see what's going on down there.
Rude.
What time of day is it, by the way? Is it nighttime?
You went there pretty much first thing in the morning, right? Because you found people day drinking, if I recall. So it's still pretty early afternoon.
Well, then I vote that we send Emmerich on his merry way, and then we go do some more investigating with the rest of the day.
Emmerich has no objections to this plan.
Can we expect an invitation to the tavern keep this evening?
Yes, you will have an invitation tonight for tomorrow. So do whatever you need to do today, because tomorrow we're going to nail that bastard Thirstwell.
Is it okay if we come how we're dressed?
Oh my god, no!
Well, then it looks like we're going shopping.
Well, or perhaps with that invitation, you could also send along some appropriate clothing.
Size small for most of our party, please.
Get me the largest you can. I think I broke them.
We broke the DM.
DM.exe not working.
Montmar the Dragonborn says, if I show up, I'm coming as I am. Emric, well, I mean, do you know... This was incredibly awkward. Do you know all of your measurements so that we could get a tailor working? You know what? No, never mind. Just... I'll make Mother have an exception to being dressed for dinner. But the fewer exceptions need to be made, the better.
I'm totally showing up in a loincloth.
I mean, you do have a cockpiece.
I forgot!
You're welcome.
Harkina is actually useful here. She speaks up and says, I can get clothing for people. I know some people.
I throw a hammer.
No, you can continue talking. I did not mean to shush, Mr. DM.
So leave it to me, and I'll work on getting everyone some clothing. I'll call in some favors that I don't plan to be staying in Baldur's Gate much longer once we leave here, so I might as well call in all of the favors that are owed me now, especially since it's going to be funny explaining that I need clothes for, as she looks across the group, for this group.
The loinier, the better.
Edric asks if he should wear his official uniform.
Are you allowed to still?
Oh.
Way to depress the poor man.
Sorry, I didn't want it to be awkward.
Amric asks if there's anything else you need from him before he heads on his way.
Make sure you still have that little marble in your pocket.
Oh, he does.
Me? Yeah.
I'm just making sure because shady people have shady hands. So.
All right, so you're letting Amric leave.
It may be the worst decision we've ever made, but let's do it.
Is that all 5 for what is being described as maybe the worst decision we've ever made?
Yeah.
Grand. All right. So now that he's gone, what do you do?
Amazing. I'm playing darts, I guess.
I mean, we have other things to do, right? Am I wrong?
Edric has he needs to meet up with that guy from his squad tonight. You have a pirate ship to deal with somehow. I don't know if you care to report back to the Flaming Fist.
I don't think we have anything to report yet to the very annoying.
Kinda do.
What were they asking us to look into?
They specifically wanted you to figure out how to take down the Van Thampers.
I mean, I guess we're technically working on it, but we don't necessarily have to report that we're going to dinner with them.
True enough.
Could let them know that we encountered a spine devil associated with them.
You know that while that would be in most other cities a useful piece of evidence, it is Baldur's Gate, and again, it's a pretty terrible city, and so it would be acknowledged, but that would basically be it.
Do we want to perhaps deal with the pirate ship so that we have an escape vessel ready for tomorrow night in case shit hits the fan, which of course it will?
Probably a good idea.
Thinking that whatever method we use to take over the ship would probably mean we'd have to leave immediately thereafter.
No, we have isn't the captain with us on this?
We have a captain.
We have to oust her her mutinous crew or something? Or am I missing up?
No, we have a different captain who wants to take over some other captain's ship.
So to bring everyone up to speed, do you remember the Minotaur? Yeah. So his sister is still on the boat with the remainder of his crew, and they haven't.
I could use another horn.
They haven't been able to leave Baldur's Gate because everything that's happening.
But these are violent pirates, so there's nothing. As members of the Flaming Fist, we need to make sure to restore order on the docks, you know?
Are we restoring order, or are we just causing and creating disorder?
Are you suggesting we
police
try a legal seizure from the pirates?
I'm just throwing out ideas.
Also, I don't necessarily trust Tarina to
not leave without us.
Yeah. Once we get her the boat, to wait around for us to say, "Oh yeah, we can go now," because she wants to go. She wants that boat, and she wants gone.
I mean, to be fair, Baldur's Gate is a terrible place.
It's fine. You just have to be in the upper class.
You just got to be the 1%.
Yeah, okay, so oddly enough, the way they distribute the populations in Baldur's Gate, it's more like the 30 to 40. Like, the upper city is really, really big. Like, I don't understand how their economy works. I want to just say that. What I'm saying is that I sometimes miss Gygax's ridiculous attention to detail.
Look, we got to pump these things out so that people will buy it.
On that note, what is the plan? Is it to go deal with pirates?
I think that should wait.
That does seem pretty final.
I'm with the halfling on this one.
I'm not a halfling.
I thought you were a halfling.
I'm a human. Raised by halflings.
Right, you're a halfling. Just like I'm a dwarf.
Okay.
It's best not to try and understand. You know what? I'm getting tired of this. I'm making a token, a player token page, which I thought I had made.
So really, the only active things that we need to worry about right now are Edric and then the boat, and there tomorrow. Do we want to follow? So? I would like to posit that maybe we want to follow Emmerich and make sure that he's actually doing what we want him to. Maybe that would be a thing to spend our time on.
Yeah, that may not be a terrible idea now that you bring it up.
We happen to have a sneaky individual who would probably be really good at that.
I will totally do it for you. I'm glad that you think I'm sneaky. It's great. I'm nice and... No, I'm not that sneaky. I'm way too big to be sneaky. Maybe we should send a halfling.
I do have disguise self.
Yeah, we should send the halfling. She's small.
Everyone just hears that and they're like, and yes, now disguise self is being a tool put on the board of things we can do.
Became level 3 a bit ago.
I can disguise myself, but I do not have the ability to disguise self. Is that an appropriate plan then? Do we want to split the party? That sounds like a great idea. Right before a big conflict.
Well, I'm nowhere near stealthy, so I can't do that.
Clang, 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 clang.
Okay. I think this is going to be nice and easy now. Right now, there's no clutter. Right? It's just you guys and all of your. So where's the mouse? I lost the mouse.
Oh, Happy Meal didn't come with us.
That
I also
rat
realized.
is important.
I think that I had you at. So can you all just make sure that these tokens are at your current level 3-ness?
Painfully so, yes. Me and my 20 HP.
Okay, excellent.
I have more health than you.
Did we rest at all after that
No,
ship, or are we still?
HP.
I mean, you could take a short rest right now if you would like to, unless anyone wants to go follow Amric. Anyone who's following Amric obviously can't take a short rest.
Prefer take a short rest.
I'm trying to figure out how many hit dice I have left.
Have you used any?
I used a lot in the beginning, so I'm still recovering them. So that's what I'm trying to figure out if I have 2 or 3 left, and I don't remember where they are.
There you go, Lyra.
What's that?
Now you're safe to travel.
Oh, he used cure wounds on you. Excellent.
Oh,
I
I
am
didn't
back
use
to
your help.
full.
All right. So my understanding is Lyra and Zamar are trailing Amric.
I give Lyra my guidance as well.
Yo.
I suppose I could, but I guess I have 5 stealth. I guess I'm okay. Do I have time to try to disguise myself before we leave?
No, because I assume that if you're going to follow him, as he walks out the door, you're shimmying after him.
Yep. That's what we're doing then, I guess.
All right. What are the other 3 of you doing?
I am taking that short rest.
I am also going to take that short rest.
Hi.
I am
You're
just trying to. Does anyone know where the Oh, you know what? I found it. There it is. Hey, I do have all my hit die left. All right.
Ariel, you're fine. You don't need a short rest.
I don't know how many hit die I have. I'm not sure how to keep track of it. I have not taken a short rest yet, and I did not roll for anything. I just assumed I'll roll a 2 at some point. So I just gave it to myself.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. So, Lyra and Zamar, can you go ahead and give me stealth checks with Zamar? I assume since you're small, you should have advantage on this for trying to sneak around the city.
Do I?
No, I assume you do because there's large crowds and you
Oh.
hide in
Oh, that is full HP. I am totally
Beautiful.
glad I took that short rest.
Oof.
Just for kicks and giggles, was that a what? How many dice do you roll?
I rolled 1. So you roll. It's for you. It's 1d8 plus your Constitution per hit die you want to use on a short rest.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's totally
Mine was a d12.
okay. Yeah, I got the 2 that I needed.
Do you not have a plus to Constitution?
Oh no, I do. I just mean I was only missing 2 health, so
Oh, okay.
I only need that.
All right, so Lyra Zamar, you go ahead. You're stealthing after him. He doesn't seem to notice you. He gets to the upper city, shows his watch token, gets let in. What are you guys going to do here?
What can we do?
Don't we have watch tokens? Watch things?
The Flaming Fist lets us go there in the daylight, correct?
Correct. So, who still has their badges? I know someone threw it away. I forget who.
That would be the bard.
Right, because you were trying to sneak around and pretend not to be one.
But I seem to recall that I went back and picked it back up. Or am I mistaken? Did I do this when I was drunk?
Yes, you did.
Drunk.
I know the cleric threw hers away and
Confirmed.
then went back for it when she was like, "Oh wait, no, I need that."
Yeah.
Lyra, you still have yours though, right?
So I apparently just join clicks willy nilly.
Just sign up for everything. She's
Yep.
got like 15
How,
mailing lists.
How reasonable is it for me to try to pass as a child?
Can I take him as my guest?
So, Lyra, go ahead and give me, let's call this just a straight up intelligence check.
Okay.
So, no to the guest. Yes as a suspect.
And where are the Flaming Fist headquarters? Are they in the Upper City?
No, you would be trying to convince these folks that you are taking him to the Upper City Watch on some suspicion of some crime of some sort. So as you can imagine, it's quite the delicate matter.
I take him as an informant.
You could try passing that off as well.
Okay, yeah.
That would be a
So,
bluff check.
Zamar, this is what we're gonna do. I say well before we're within earshot of the watch guard. I will be taking you in a professional capacity as one of my informants to show me some secret criminal cache that you are familiar with.
Sure.
And then maybe at some point today we'll go to the Flaming Fist and get you another badge. You dipshit.
Fair enough. All right. So the guard on watch seems mildly interested, and so go ahead and give me your. I believe is it just called bluff or is it deception? It's called
Deception.
Deception.
now.
Oh yeah.
21.
He says, "Just be out by nightfall and don't cause any problems for anyone else."
Sure thing.
So you head on in. Your passive perception is good enough to spot where Amric is. He's, on a gentle stroll through the upper city, being, a little bit like, stopping every time he finds someone moderately important to flatter them and chat them up. He's clearly in his element, and surprisingly, a lot of the people quite enjoy being flattered, and he seems to actually be quite good at ingratiating himself with these people now that he's back in his element.
Easy.
Do we need to re-roll anything, or are we still going?
You're still going. You follow him right now. Again, he's taking his sweet old time, so it's like about an hour or so later when he finally gets to his villa, and he stops. You recognize that one of the guards out front is the woman that was with the Duke at the incident where you were, and she seems to be flustered as he's talking to her. How close do you want to try and get? Where you are now, they're not really going to see you, but if you want to hear what's going on, you're going to need to get closer.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some extra precaution slinking along hedges and whatnot to try to get a bit closer.
Do you have any spells that can help you get closer?
No.
All right, Zamar, is there anything that you're going to try and do?
Unless we want to wait an hour for me to cast Find Familiar.
No, but that's something you should do when you get
That's
back.
something we should definitely do later. You should definitely have it out already.
All right, so go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Sorry, yet again, I suffer from having stat blocks where I need them and not as easily findable as I had wanted. So you approach and you hear Amric saying that the office had an unfortunate accident, and so that's why he's here. And all of his guards didn't get off of the boat while it was sinking because they also had unfortunate accidents. The guardswoman, who, if you remember, did you actually talk to them to find a name? No, you didn't. You did not have a chance to talk to her. Go ahead. Your perception is good enough that she turns her head to look at where you are, and then just turns back to Amric and tells him to get inside. Your mother will deal with you. Amric goes inside. He slips through the gates, and the woman turns back to looking right where you are, and raises a hand tentatively, like, "Are you going to do anything?"
Going to try to sneak away unnoticed. Any further noticed.
Gotcha. Go ahead and make your stealth check.
Okay.
All right. So you slink on back to Zamar. I assume bring him up to speed, and then are you guys going back to the tavern with this information?
Has the guard? I assume the guard probably followed her, like as she walked away.
Just
Not literally followed, but
not literally. She just sort of watched her leave.
but she doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Nope. She gives you the same like creepy wave hello.
Do I get any sort of feeling about how she is? Is she like friendly, or is she like, "I see you, don't you dare do anything" sort of
More
deal?
that second one. She's like,
Okay.
she doesn't want any trouble. She doesn't know what you're here for, and she's not going to start anything.
Hmm.
As far as we were able to follow, provided he did not notice that we were there and was putting on a show for us, it sounds like he is being on the up and up. So I suppose we should head back to the tavern.
Or should we take this opportunity to try to scope out the territory?
I mean, we've been here before, right? Like, we talked to this lady and we're like at the house, so we know.
You're at the Hune house, not the Van Thamper.
I mean, we can have a stroll, but I assume it's just a nice manor on a nice street.
Yeah, it's a little bit further away from all of the other manors, so definitely coming out here it's as isolated as you're going to get in Baldur's Gate in the upper city. So it definitely feels like it's fairly. You could tell just from looking at the walls that again, Duke Van Thamper is new money, and so this was built recently. It's also fairly garish as opposed to the Hune house, which had a very understated aristocratic air. This is someone who just got a whole lot of money and was like, "Look at me, I'm rich. Screw you."
The Hune. What is the Hune house? Because I thought we were at Hune house.
Okay, so the Hunes are the separate patriarch family where the man was arrested trying to break in, and he seemed confused and disoriented when he was arrested. and that is Lady Hune and her manservant Cadris are the people you know associated with that.
Nice to recall somebody telling us they were successfully broken into.
Correct. Someone working with the Cult of the Dead 3 and stole something from the Hune house. The members of the people who stole from the Hune house were 4 people. Vaz, the man with no face, a large, hulking, horrendously scarred brute, a slimy man who was skittish and didn't seem like he belonged with the group, and a levitating, twisted man. Those were the 4 people involved in the theft.
Why does that sound like all the people, the whatever people? Fuck, I forgot their names already that quickly.
Those would be the Van Thamper.
There we are. Yeah.
Shockingly.
And suddenly it's all falling together. But yes, so there are 2 different houses.
Man, it would have been nice to remember that before I let the guy walk away.
I was even debating. I was like, did they just not remember that part? Or I was like, no, maybe they don't want him to know that they know. I should have asked.
It's definitely the second one. Clearly, we were just being that cunning. We didn't want to let the DM know in on our plans.
But yes, I assume you report back. Back at the inn, those who've taken a short rest have taken a short rest. And now you have the world at your disposal. Would you like to spend the rest of the afternoon before we get to evening game time buying basic supplies, healing potions?
What is our gold supply right now? If someone wants to update me, because I think we need to start handing out more healing potions.
It is
964.
Yep.
Gold.
So we're gonna say that game time this afternoon is going to be spent shopping, and unless any of you want to actually role play with Harkina, like taking you around to tailors and trying to get you into fancy clothes, who lets her do this to them?
Oh, I'm all for it. I need some fancy clothes for when I make it in the biz.
Let's go. You can tell we're going around by the way I see you on Discord. Barbarian, I'm taking that as a hard no. Cleric, are you going to get fancy clothes?
Nah,
Unless she can get me a fancy loincloth. No. Oh, you know what? Okay. Yes, with a but. I'm looking for a fancy kilt.
She can do that. No, from the dwarf. You don't need anything fancy, or no, don't want anything fancy, I guess.
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay, and then yes.
Well, your clothes are probably already at least decent.
Oh yeah,
respectable.
you probably have cleric vestments or something in your inventory.
Yeah, like I don't look too bad originally. Like it's pretty fancy armor, dwarven made.
You might just need to get some bloodstains out.
I'll rinse off then.
Warlock, are you going to let her dress you up? Right. So no. Anyway, you're not really a halfling. Don't let Frank confuse me.
Lyra will go along with it because she loves an opportunity to dress up, and also I'm assuming these clothes will be free.
They will definitely be free.
Even better, and more to add to my disguise wardrobe.
Excellent. So seriously, was the warlock in or out? I jokingly said obviously not, but maybe this is a yes.
I mean, I'll take a new robe.
Okay.
Why not?
If
it's free.
Those of you who go along with this, Lyra immediately notices that the place you go into has the same mark on the outside as the coffee shop. So this is another front for the guild. And when Harkina goes in, she says that no one's gonna. All favors are paid in full now. Everyone's going to just forget she's been here. She's going to forget them once they do this one little thing for them. And the guy behind the counter is clearly like terrified about what he's about to ask her to do. She's about to ask him to do. And then when she says, I need you to make these people look wonderful, he has this huge sigh of relief. He had no idea what he was getting into when he made this deal initially. And so he's very relieved that her request wasn't to go kill a man. But yes, go ahead, figure out what you need to buy with in-game money. Like I don't know if anyone needs armor upgrades. I think everyone's got their weapons.
I do have one question.
Shoot away.
Are there any armors that can be concealed beneath these kind of clothes?
Most assuredly not. Not without more time than you have. Like that would be something that they need to like especially make the armor. That's not something that they could just throw together overnight.
I was just checking.
So I didn't realize armor was in the question here. What kind of options do they have as clothing as far as armor? Do they have full plate mail?
No. This was what do you guys want to spend your money on? Because now that
I thought these were free.
No. Clothing is free. Full plate is not free.
We still don't have money for full plate mail. We do have a breastplate though. Apparently, is that better than what you have?
Maybe.
Do I get the full? Do I get the full like armor class if I only have like the breastplate?
Yeah, breastplate is actually a kind of armor. I assume that it's more than just the breastplate. I think it's not full plate.
I mean, I'm assuming we probably already told you have it, but it's sitting here in the list of loot as if it's not.
So if I take that, how does my armor class change?
What's your current armor?
Chainmail.
18 and chainmail.
There's the equipment section. Sorry, Beyond is a pain to navigate. Armor and shields. It's a heavy armor. Or is it medium armor? Breastplate is a medium armor. It's 14 plus dex, whereas your chainmail is 16. So the only thing is if you have +2 dex is you would not have disadvantage on stealth. So unfortunately, no. It looks like the breastplate is not better for you.
Okay.
Let's hear that.
I think we might have figured that out before, and I just forgot.
It is medium armor though. Can you rage in medium armor? No, you can only rage in light armor, right?
I think I can rage in anything. I just lose the I lose my constitution for my armor class.
Oh, okay. So yes, no, it won't be better for you then.
No, they're I'm pretty sure I have, short of getting a, I don't even know. Like my armor class is 17, but I'm also carrying a shield.
Excellent. So
potions and anything else?
Oh, let me see. Do I have my other thing? While you guys are doing that, let me do some quick searching for something real fast.
Everybody do a potion count. Like how many does everyone have?
2.
Is that a 2?
2.
I have 1.
Claire?
I thought I had one, but I don't see it in my inventory. I don't think I used it either.
Yeah, I have 0.
I'm just playing tunes for Lulu while we're hanging out.
So what was our goal? Get everybody at least 1?
Oh, and I have, where's the, sorry.
I like how it says maybe one.
That's a great thing.
So I don't see one in my inventory. Can I assume that I have one, or should I just say that I don't have any?
I mean, I can't remember if you used one.
I don't think I remember using a potion. I don't think I've ever used a potion for this playthrough. Maybe.
Excellent.
I got nothing. Sorry.
I'm just going to say I don't have one just to be safe. And that I need
seems
one.
fair.
I had some spare gold, so I just upped my count to 2 more. So I'm at 4.
I am not a demon. Thank you.
Look, you still go squish when I hit you with a hammer. It's all that matters.
Matters to me.
Evil.
One of those abyss dorks.
Really, abyss dorks, that's what you're going with?
Yeah. Those dorks in the abyss.
Frank, can you, if people have to ask what these items are, can you be on getting them the Beyond link if they need it while I finish adding them into this list in Roll20?
Oh, these are things that are being offered
There
to us?
comes ointment.
Yeah, I realized that you didn't have these things, this list, so I'm adding it here.
Does he have a broom of flying?
No, unfortunately not.
So that first one you the second one I mean, is not a standard thing.
Okay, I lied. My inventory says I have 2. For the potions of healing.
Oh, let me go ahead and get you what that does then.
Yeah, I have it. I'm just reading it real quick. That's actually okay. I'm gonna link this. Just let me know if this is right.
Correct. Only it's set. It only has 3 doses.
Okay. That's actually kind of impressive, especially for 120 gold. That's
I know. What I think it is that it's at that price in here because you're supposed to roll for it, and so there's the chance you get only like 2 uses of it.
right.
Oh,
We should grab that.
We should get that instead of healing potions.
Yeah, I second that one.
Yep. Do I want to get heroism for perhaps the barbarian?
potion of heroism do.
I am finding it now. For 1 hour after drinking, you gain 10 temporary hit points that last for 1 hour. For the same duration, you're under the effect of Bless without concentration.
Yes, heroism. It doesn't just cast heroism on you. Because heroism, the spell, is a little less impressive. And it matters. It does a different thing because it makes you immune to being frightened. Which, again, dear D&D designers, please stop using the same name for different things.
Maybe one for the barbarian, one for either Lyra or Ariel.
What, the heroism or the ointment?
The heroism. The ointment we're buying, period.
If it would necessarily do Lyra much good.
I don't
She's
think we have to
usually
worry about
staying
anything.
out of
Oh,
the
wait.
fray.
Oh, were you remembering to do the per dose? So that's 360.
Yeah. I was about to ask that question.
It's still really, really good, but now it's suddenly not as good as you thought, right?
Right.
Wait, I'm confused.
So if we were to buy it, it wouldn't be 120 gold. It would be 360 gold, which now.
Ew.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
It's still really good because cure any disease, remove poison are really strong effects, especially with the rider of, healing. So it's still really good. It's just, it's not you're not getting as big of a deal as you thought.
Right.
It's more well-rounded of a healing instead of something just for health.
Yeah, and considering the fact we're fighting demons and devils, poison and disease effects are going to be a problem.
And compared to a potion of healing, which is typically 100 gold, which only gives you 2d4 plus 2 hit points, an extra 20 gold for 2d8 plus 2, and other cures. Still very good.
Yeah, no, like I'm not arguing that. It's just the question is, do we want to drop 360 gold? That's the question.
I mean, you could just buy all 3 doses and then no healing potions, but then you're going to use that when you could have just used the healing potion.
Right.
Also, remember, every purchase takes you further and further away from plate mail.
A sacrifice that we might need.
Which then brings us to: do we want to get the potions of heroism? Like, I like them, but I don't know if I like them for that much gold.
And re-examining how much money we're about to spend, we should not get the potions of heroism. Healing is more useful.
10 temporary hit points is better than a healing potion. It just doesn't bring people back from being unconscious.
Maybe one of each, one healing potion, one heroism, and then the ointment.
So
Sounds good.
360, 510, 560.
That's still kind of ouch.
Who do we want to hold what?
Are we agreeing to spending the 560 gold?
Maybe just no healing potions, considering we have the ointment and we all already have potions.
As a side note, that was assuming one healing potion.
And you do have 2 casters with healing. Like, I feel like healing isn't as big of a issue as it seems.
I think that is correct. So I say the ointment, and maybe nothing else.
I'm okay with the ointment, especially for future endeavors.
All right. And then I'm assuming our cleric will be carrying the ointment or other.
I mean, there's 3 different jars.
No,
We could each carry a dose.
I assumed it's all in one jar.
No, that's why you can buy separate doses.
Ow! Ow!
So we can have our front lines each carry a dose. Actually, only 2 of us are technically considered frontline. Who wants to carry the extra dose?
I usually go with the fastest person.
I feel like Lyra is probably the...
I'd be the fastest.
All right.
All right. Evening time is on its way then.
All right, so that is added to my inventory. Please make sure you add this to your inventory.
Just did.
Do we want to talk to the captain about assaulting the ship tomorrow night, perhaps? Or is that not a thing that we want to throw out?
After your dinner party, you'll come back and go deal with some pirates.
Maybe.
I feel like maybe we just shouldn't have talked to her then.
Yeah, let's hold that off. She just sees us come, we wave. She does the whole, "Hey, wait, I need to talk to you," and we just all ignore her as we walk back out the front door.
Then let's grab.
Oh, wait, the dinner party's the next day.
Yeah, it's tomorrow night.
Long rest.
Oh,
yeah. But that we haven't slept yet.
No, I'm just saying, like, when we go to the dinner party, we got our long rest.
Yes, correct. So I assume we all are in agreement that we go help Edric?
All right, he's meeting with somebody.
Or do we not have to give 2 shits about our useless wizard?
He's not useless. He helped us.
Now that we threw every spellbook that we find at him, because none of us use them.
Have you played Shining Force? This is Shining Force.
I'm confused. What do you mean by that?
Even the most useless characters become useful when you start throwing items at them.
Do they?
I don't know. I haven't played in years. Anyway, so what's Edric's little thing? He's meeting up with an old buddy.
Meeting up with an old buddy. And why is it not here? There we go. Are you bringing any of the horses or the rat?
The rat. I'm gonna bring the rat.
Did Lyra have enough time to summon her?
Oh yeah. Did you want to summon a familiar?
Yeah, I might do that.
Excellent. Do you need to pay a cost to do that besides your spell?
I believe it's
10 gold.
Yeah, something like 10. So wait, what day are we on? Are we still on that first day, or did we overnight it already?
Still that first day.
Okay.
What kind of familiar are you summoning? Cat, gotcha.
No.
I know. Frank's like, no, something with wings.
Always something with wings. Wings or slithering, one or the other. Spiders are also good. They don't get eaten by a lizard.
I was unaware spider was a choice.
I thought it was. I could be wrong.
Bat, cat, crab, frog, toad, hawk, lizard, octopus, owl, poisonous snake, fish, clipper, rat, raven, seahorse, spider, or weasel.
I assume it's not octopus. So what is your choice?
Throw octopi at people.
I'm like so scarred from all my previous uses of Find Familiar from Frank's campaign that I'm afraid to ever use Find Familiar because it always gets eaten or killed.
That's what they're there for.
You just get a new one.
Yeah, think that's like paying like 100 gold to waste a single action on an enemy's turn. That's actually a pretty good exchange rate.
That was 10 gold.
Oh, is it only 10 gold? Oh, then the exchange rate's like 90 gold better.
How much money did we spend, by the way?
I thought we just bought the thing, so we bought 3 of them for 360. We did not get heroism, and we did not get healing potions.
If you don't get something with wings, you're way less likely to send it far, far ahead where it gets eaten.
I'm in favor of a raven or a weasel. We already have a rat.
Kind of thinking spider because it's less noticeable. I'm thinking this might be helpful for sneaking around while we're at the Phantom Per dinner.
Sounds good to me.
Wow. Is that are there really no spiders? There it is. Spider.
Why?
What is your spider's name?
Peter.
I haven't named my familiar yet.
Do you think maybe that's part of the reason why they don't feel unloved and get eaten?
No, this Lyra hasn't named her familiar yet.
Why not Charlotte?
Because her alter ego conscience, Toss the Halfling, has other experiences that tell her maybe don't get too attached.
I've only killed, 2 owls and a spider?
No, it's happened at least like 4 or 5 times. And it's every time. Without fail.
Celestial feathers everywhere.
All right, everyone ready?
I think so.
I still don't know what we're doing. I'm sorry. Helping Edric, I know that much.
You can see your spider's name, right?
Unloved to be eaten.
You have control of it, so whenever you come up with a name, you should be able to just go rename it.
Okay.
As opposed to I don't know yet, where that name's just stuck there.
You
didn't say I have control to rename it.
Well,
I don't think I can.
What? You can't?
Oh, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So that night, you go ahead and make your way past what used to be the Low Lantern to a pretty dark alleyway in Baldur's Gate. Waiting in front of a dilapidated house is Skadric, who is still dressed in his dirty, grimy robe of not robe, but a uniform for the Flaming Fist. I don't know why I said robe. Probably because we were still dealing with casters. Anyway, Skadric looks at your large group and he's like, well, all right. That's, I guess, one way to show up. So do they really all need to be here?
Kitty.
Edric is like, well, yeah, they've been helping me, and they were there when Elturel disappeared.
We're friends.
Skadric is a little bit nervous about this, and he's like, all right. So what I wanted to do was talk to you alone, but if you're insisting on bringing a bunch of other people with you, and you don't have your spiritual weapon yet,
Together forever.
All right. So he looks at all of you. What I'm going to show you all is something that I don't know if I should be showing all of you. Are you guys all solid?
Yes.
Like a mountain.
He's looking at the Flaming Fist badges, and he's like, all right, now look.
Isn't he part of the Flaming Fist?
Yeah, but he also got so drunk that that Raven Guard wouldn't let him come to Elturel, so...
Seemed to work out for him then.
That's his opinion as well. All right, so I'm going to be level with all of you. I deliberately didn't go to Elturel. And Edric, I was bringing you here because I want you to meet this fortune teller. She warned me not to go. And honestly, yes.
Have we met her? Did we get fortune tellings from her before?
We haven't seen her yet.
Yeah, you haven't seen who he's talking about yet.
Well, yeah, but we've had run-ins with the fortune teller before. With a fortune teller before.
Yes, with a fortune teller before.
There are more than one in the world.
No, it's just that
divination is a thing.
If it's the same person, I told you so.
It's actually, that would be hilarious. But anyway, so the point is, Edric, I needed you here, and I guess if your friends are here too, that works out for us, I guess. But the important thing is, you can't tell anyone about her. Do you all understand?
Yes.
Question mark?
But why not?
Are you solid or not?
Like a mountain.
Hi.
Yeah.
Edric, no, these guys are good. You can trust them.
Sounded like a Big Mac coming back the second time.
All right, so we're going to go in there, and you're all just going to play it nice and easy. Now, it's really important that you just go with everything you're about to see.
All right.
Excellent. He knocks on the door twice and then opens it. Inside, what you see is this going to actually reveal areas? No, it's not. God, I hate this. Here, maybe this will reveal the area. Reveal area. There you go. He swings open the door, and what you see is at the center is a magical circle with a ritually dismembered body inside of it. Off to the side, you recognize Isio and Minakwa, part of Zaj's crew, who are a little shocked to see you coming in through the door. Behind them is an old woman. Is an old, haggard woman with a disgusting smell. You could tell that it's coming from her because it's not just a regular smell; it's also coming into your brain. This is clearly not just an old woman. She's covered in bones, and in fact is wearing a dress made of them. And through the patchwork of bones, you can see scabby, bloody skin visible through it. And Skadric looks at the dead body and looks at all of you to see how you're reacting to that.
Meh.
Do we recognize the body?
No, just some random poor schmuck from Baldur's Gate.
Do we recommend? Wow. Do we recognize anybody else other than who you've said?
Nope. You have the mysterious fortune teller. You have. I need to go back to here. You have Minakwa and her armored familiar cat. Some flaming fist guy you've never seen before, and Isio, the human. And they're all looking at you, looking at the dead body, trying to get a feeling for how cool you are with what's going on here.
What's going on here?
Avon calling.
I have questions. What's going on? Are we having a party?
This isn't a party, Isio says. And Skadric, I thought you said that you were just getting Edric. Well, he wanted to bring some friends. It's cool, Isio. They're all solid. Everyone's fine.
Like a mountain.
This feels like a meeting up of like teenagers.
Except
you said they were cool.
Did you tell them I was cool? You told them I was cool, right?
So, Skadric is like, well, since you all know each other, I'll just introduce you to Red Ruth, the woman in the back. She's a fortune teller from, well, not Baldur's Gate. Don't ask questions.
I have questions.
Right.
Where, what is going on here?
Well, Skadric says, last time I called for some help, Red Ruth answered the call, and she's the one who warned me not to go to Elturel. And well, you've all seen what's going on around Baldur's Gate, right? The cults and like whatever's been going on. And so I was like, last time I called out, she helped. And so I was like, let me call out again. And I was going to have Edric here, help me out.
Help with what?
Well, so before I was going to ask Edric to help me make the circle to call Red Ruth. But then Minakwa here and Isio found me. And, well, she's pretty good with magic, too. And, well, look, she saved my life because I didn't go to Elturel. Shouldn't we try and help everyone find out what all of us should do next?
To be fair, we could gain a lot of knowledge from her.
I agree.
Knowledge or okay, what's going on with the body here? Like what is the purpose of this body and this ritualistic? There we are, circle that's going on here. Like how is this all connected? I'm sorry. Like I'm as cool as a mountain right now, but I need answers. We're solid as a mountain. There we are.
Okay, look. So, like I told you, she's not from around here. So she needs a vessel to get here. And to do that, it requires blood. Lots and lots of blood.
Okay. Question for DM. With my intimate knowledge of devils and demons, does something click in my head with when he explains this? Like, should I throw a roll out there, or
there's a very strong potential that this has something to do with fiends.
I turn and look at our tiefling and say, you understand this, right?
Actually, go ahead and give me. Let's call it a religion check from the warlock, or maybe just a straight intelligence check. Yeah, either that'll do. So you do know.
I know a bit.
You do know a bit. So Red Ruth, not exactly a devil or a demon. She's a night hag who, long ago, older than anyone remembers, disappeared into the lower planes to try and do what night hags do and become, more powerful, learn a way to live forever. And for all you knew, and anyone else who knew anything about Red Ruth, that ended as well as anyone heading to the lower planes ended. But here she is, apparently.
So what you're saying is you guys summoned her here, and you had to use this poor unfortunate soul to do this.
It's, they were going to hang him tomorrow anyway, so we really just did everyone a favor, right? Like, think, we could have had to grab someone off the street, but instead, I'm pretty sure this bastard was a rapist or something, so whatever, they were going to hang him. Zaj was probably going to beat him to death before he even got to the scaffold anyway, so we might as well have used him for this.
He was the type of person who put the milk in before the cereal.
That's wrong on so many levels.
Punishable by death.
So, all you have to do... You're cool with this, right?
We've seen worse.
Absolutely. I'm totally cool with this.
So, what kind of answers are we looking for right now? Can they tell us what's going on with Elturel and all that?
So, here Red Ruth finally speaks up. If you want to ask a question, I require a sacrifice.
Hey, Edric, can we borrow you for a second?
You're confusing me right now, because I just point at the body and all the blood in the circle.
That was to get here. Skadric, you guys are cool with this, right? You're not going to have any issues.
He keeps asking us.
Well, what do we have to sacrifice?
Cool
Probably a living thing.
Everyone, looks at the dead body in the circle, looks at Lyra.
So, our spider friend.
Oh, no. Something with a soul, Red Ruth says.
So, our rat friend.
Hey.
Skadric, so we're all agreed that we want to find out what's going to happen to Baldur's Gate and whether we should stick around, right? That's what we want to ask.
Baldur's Gate is fine.
But more importantly, who are you sacrificing?
See, that's why I wanted to make sure you were okay with this before we did that. Got to that part.
I turn and look at Edric. Hey, Edric?
I don't know what's going on here.
How much do you like these guys?
Now look, we've got this guy's accomplice. Okay? He's in the back room.
Okay. Here, I thought they were going to sacrifice Edric.
I thought they were going to ask us to find a sacrifice. I'm not going to lie.
Isia, yeah, don't worry. So, like we said, this guy was a rapist, and he had an accomplice who cleaned up after him, did all of the killing, so that when the divinations were done to find out who killed all those women, never turned back to this guy. Pretty smart. And it's also not anyone you would have thought. Yes, run of the mill, common, off the street gutter trash. He snaps to the flaming fist who opens up a closet, and out comes maybe a 10-year-old kid who is unconscious, bound, and gagged.
I have questions.
Patrick, see, that's why I wanted to make sure you were okay with all of this.
This is fine.
You're telling me that child is a murderer?
No, a cleaner up of murderers.
No. See, he didn't have to kill anyone who wasn't already standing. Guy beat him up, left him there, gave the kid the knife.
Damn it.
Who wants insight checks, by the way?
Literally all of us.
Literally all of you.
Please, someone better than me. Please, someone. Anyone.
I'm going to use my guidance. Do I still have my guidance?
Yes, you do.
How much is that?
Plus 1d4 plus that, just 1d4.
Roll big.
All right. So everyone at a 15 or better, which is, I think, just Lyra and McNee Smasher. Isio is telling you what the official story is, but you also know enough about Isio that he doesn't seem to be the kind of guy who cares. He clearly hasn't done much in the way of looking into this. He and Skadric are both obviously scared about what's going on in Baldur's Gate, and they clearly are only looking out for themselves. Minakwa in the back is the only one who seems to have no reservations whatsoever about what is going on here. She is utterly in control in the back. She's not showing any nervousness about this, whereas both Isio and Skadric are iffy about going through with it. And Red Ruth is an inscrutable night hag who has been corrupted by the lower planes, and there's no good way to understand how she thinks or what she thinks.
So, is it possible to maybe leave, find somebody else, and then bring them back?
You want to just grab someone off the street?
No. We can wait for like an attacker who attacks us, and it's like, oh, you're filth, you're a robber, let's take you. Just one of we travel to somewhere adventures. If we roll bad,
You've been
people attack us.
waylaid by enemies.
The DM rolls a dice. Someone tries to gut us. We bring them here.
Yeah, you know, just a nice little quick stroll down the dark alley.
To bait a criminal.
Not the first time we've done it.
I mean, she's not wrong. But I don't think I have enough mead for that.
For the first time, Minakwa speaks, and she says, and we're going to have to kill this boy anyway. It's not like we can hand him back to Zaj.
You
But
got
you
a
have
point.
to kill him.
Because do you think we're going to tell Zaj, yes, we kidnapped 2 of your prisoners and then used them for hellish rituals? No, of course we're not going to tell Zaj that.
Oh, so he was already in prison.
On death row. Look.
Wait, I do we know? Okay, can I get an insight check on that to determine on if that is where he actually potentially grabbed him from?
From what you rolled before, that is Isio is not lying. He just doesn't care, and that's what he was told, and so he didn't bother to look into it. He's not the thinker in this outfit. But if you want to go find some random person, we'll take care of it here, and when you get back, all yours.
Party, what do we think?
I am not giving them somebody to sacrifice.
I'm not in favor of murdering a child. I feel like that should be clear. But it does seem to me Man, do I just want to say this out loud? Is this the thing I want to just pull the trigger on?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried about it
probably back you
myself
up.
coming from a cleric. I might have to leave the room and look away.
What was that stats?
I said, go ahead and say it. I'll most likely back you up.
Good old Atreus.
I look at the hag and I go, if does it matter what kind of sacrifice it is? Does it matter who it is?
Just a soul that can be mine.
Because it does seem to me that there's 4 perfectly good souls in this room right now.
Skadrick is like, no. See, this is why I asked if you were good about this. Here, Isio sort of shrugs and is like, I don't care about Skadrick or Edric. Either of them work for me.
Guys, I cannot let this go on. I'm as cool as a mountain right now. No longer solid. I'm cool.
I mean, meh. I don't care. They were on their way to the scaffold anyway. Or we do have those pirates.
No.
Snatch
We
one of them.
think they were. We don't know how true this actually is.
Meh.
Do some sort of I don't know, history check to see if I would know, does Baldur's Gate routinely hang minors?
Yeah. Baldur's Gate hangs anyone and everything.
Okay.
Seems like a pretty cruel place no matter what.
It's gotten worse over the years. Like, used to be a good neighborhood. Like, so
Look, we just want to ask one question, so we only need one soul. If you want to ask something, go find your own.
Oh, I see.
So you said the boy's unconscious, right?
Correct.
Will he remain unconscious?
We are not sacrificing the child.
But what happens to him if he doesn't get sacrificed?
I mean, we can always have someone, what are they called? A squire. Carry around our stuff.
You want to adopt
would-
him into the party?
I will.
He
adopt
would
him
be
into the
indebted
party.
to us. He would.
Think of it this way, my fellow tiefling, my little tiefling. It would be like you're taking somebody else's soul instead of the other way around. They would be indebted to you if you saved them instead of, you just randomly handing out pieces of your soul to every little demon and devil that's willing to take it.
I don't want attachments.
Yeah, what? But you haven't.
Yeah, no, see, those attachments all go the other way.
I don't get anything out of that. Plus, he's was covering up. He was murdering rape victims, so I'm cool with sacrificing him.
I don't know if that's true.
Doesn't matter.
Did we do the inside check on the guard or the chick talking?
On the whole
Everything.
group of them.
Crap.
Edric says, I don't think we should let this happen. Just, I think the dwarf is right. It took you a moment to remember. Remember, you punched him last time, he didn't.
I'm in favor of letting spells fly and asking 4 questions of this hag, because there's 4 people in this room that are planning.
Who are expendable? Were you going to say expendable?
No, I was not going to say expendable. I was like, they're planning sacrifices. They made this whole thing into a thing. We could just
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Stop.
I have questions. All right, so this is the dude who's like, "You're cool, right? You're cool, right?"
Yeah.
All right, and then this is the friend that's not a friend who's just like, "I really don't care what happens."
Right.
And then this one is
just another one of the Flaming Fist guards hanging around. You don't know. You've never seen him before in your life.
does he seems cool with all of this?
He's probably he hasn't said anything. He was the one who like dragged the kid out of the closet. He seems more comfortable with it than Skadrick.
All right, and then who's this?
That's Minakwa with her armored cat on her shoulder, and she seems to be the one who is the most cool with what's going on.
Cool.
Is everyone rolling initiative? I assume there's no surprise round because everyone has been aware for at least the last couple of minutes that this was very likely to happen.
So I kind of just throw out there, like, I yell to this dude, like, hey, if you don't get involved, we won't involve you. Or, at some point on my turn.
Got it. Now I know Atros needs to leave by, when do you need to be out by?
3-ish.
3-ish. Do we want to put an end here so we don't start a combat right before someone has to leave?
Well, there's only like 4 dudes.
I would say there's nothing stopping us from resuming combat when we come back.
Yeah, and also if you guys wanted to continue without me, you could.
Resources have been used.
You could RP me something.
I mean, we should be keeping track of any resources used anyway, so we should be fine.
Okay.
I have no resources.
You have hit points.
That's true.
Those are a very important resource. So what do these people look like on the initiative? Like, do you see names?
No, just their tokens.
So how do I...
Well, when we hover over them, it shows which one it is, so it's not really a big deal.
So now it should have appeared for you for some of them, right?
I got ECO. That's an amazing initiative.
Well, excellent.
That's better than mine.
Can you tell which one was added for purposes of combat math?
I'm not sure which one it could be. Is it one of the named ones, or could it be the one without a name?
All right. Is everyone good?
Let's do it.
Excellent. Lyra, you are the first to be the doing of whatever it will be.
Is this just an open area, or is there a door I have to go through?
The door is in the pink squares.
Okay.
Very big door, don't ask. And there is furniture and stuff, but this is like a bit of a hovel, so it's not like there's anything obstructing you in any serious way.
Okay. Lyra will, I guess, scooch on over there and shoot at Gadrick with her bow.
That's Skadrick?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Since we've indicated to this dude that he shouldn't get involved, is he a flanking buddy or no?
No, he does not threaten Skadrick.
Okay.
Oh, which means that was no sneak attack damage.
Yeah, just 8.
So Skadrick takes the arrow and he's like, "No, it didn't." And Zamar, it's your turn.
Oh, and she'll then over here out of the way.
On the aptly named just Flaming Fist.
That is a save.
Damn. I give my best to Ronald and give him bardic inspiration, and I move away.
Sounds good.
Now I have no resources.
Good thing we got that long rest coming up.
The armored cat is going to go ahead and fly swiftly. Right in the middle here, and it is going to go ahead and try and scratch at Atros.
Oh, so that is not a familiar.
I assume a 15 hits. Also, is he there? Okay, sorry. Atros, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, a 15 hits, right?
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So the cat has flown in and is latched onto Atros's face. And
Nice.
that is. Can you do what?
I'm going to smack it off. So wait, is he actually grappling with a?
It is now in his square, and it's probably going to do something terrible on the next turn. Oh no, you're hellish rebuking. That's a good thing to do.
That hit me. So it's going to take. Well, it needs to make a dexterity save, DC 13.
Okay, so save.
Ooh.
It's save for half or save for all.
Yeah, half. So it takes 5 fire damage.
Poor cat.
Well, it attacked me. I would have avoided it completely this whole fight because I don't want to fight a cat, but it attacked me. So
It's true. You did put against the one individual who would not attack the cat.
mistakes were
Only
made.
stats for cat.
Yeah. So on Minakwa's turn, she is going to wind up her own Eldritch Blast and point it straight at Ronald. For 11 force damage.
Can I trade warlocks?
And she pushes you back 10 feet. She then says, get through the line and just get rid of the casters. Once someone's dead, we can just ask our question. So what this does mean is that if someone goes down, they are going to try and murder that person. So you may want to prevent that if anyone gets knocked unconscious.
I feel like we should try and block the door.
That's, I assume, what you were doing. And Isio is going to go ahead and move his 30 to 10, 20, 25 to also take a swing at Atros. And there's their stats. For a total of 4 slashing from Isio's longsword. And when he cuts into you, he's like, never liked you guys anyway.
Ooh, this dick.
Do I remember Isio?
He is Zaj's right-hand man. He's the guy who's always been there walking you around places and things.
Gotcha.
And so you also remember the lady with her armored cat, right?
Well, of course I remember the armored cat.
The other flaming fist just moves forward to close with our wonderful cleric friend for 9 points of slashing damage, unless you are up to 20 AC and I lost count.
No, still 18.
All right.
Edric, do your thing. For the love of God.
There's Edric's things. You'd think by now I would be more organized, right? But alas, I am not organized. So let's see. He's out of first level spells because of that. So Edric comes forward, uses his last slot to give Ronald a magic weapon spell, and says, go do what you have to do. Which do you need? Do you need what magic weapon does?
It's +1 hit damage, right?
Pretty sure that's all it does. Yep, it's magic, and it's +1 to damage and attack rolls. Skadric goes ahead and puts away his sword and throws a dagger at who does he have line of sight on? He really just has it on Lyra and Atros, so he'll continue the dog pile on Atros. And he hits with a sneak attack for a total of 6 damage on Atros, and then he moves back here. Atros, it is now your turn, and you have a miserable existence. First, would you please make a strength save, because there is a cat on your face. It's a DC 12.
Strong cat.
Strength is my worst stat.
All right, so you are slowed, and you can't see at the moment.
Everything's very furry and red.
Furry red. You do not need line of sight to do that.
I do not. So everybody needs to everybody within 10 feet of me needs to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, God.
Good.
Including my allies.
Yep, this is everyone.
As long as you beat a 13, you're fine.
Yeah, this is not going to be good.
I'm out of range.
Cat fails.
Haha, cat, suck it.
Isio succeeds.
Damn it.
I
Flaming
fail.
Fist fails. I think Edric is probably gonna fail because he's got negative strength. All right, so the people who failed, what terrible thing happens to them?
Huh. Let's see. 3d6 necrotic damage.
I think I'm going to use my last lucky point.
So that well, okay, seems fair.
Please work. Okay, that's better.
Excellent.
So if they fail, they take 14 necrotic damage.
Yeah,
And
that would have,
can't-
killed me.
and can't take reactions until the end of next turn. Until its next turn.
You notice that the cat resists your necrotic damage, even though it's saved, but whatever.
Wait, I thought the cat failed.
Oh yeah, it failed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
So
back and
taste it.
fix that damage.
If you could refrain from doing something like that again.
Well, keep
How
them
much-
from surrounding me.
How much necrotic damage was that again?
14.
14.
Guess who you knocked unconscious?
Ooh.
Mana, Edric?
Yeah, poor Edric.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
that's what he
God
gets.
in heaven.
Hey, look, we did the job for him.
Never
You guys need a
waste
soul?
a healing on him.
No, he's not dead. He's just unconscious. Your magic weapon is gone, Frank.
Yeah.
That.
Did everyone record the half damage for making the save?
Oh, no. What was the damage itself?
14.
Another
So,
7.
Jesus
damage.
Christ.
I don't like to be surrounded.
Yeah, maybe let's not do that.
Yeah, you're going to be spending your next turn bringing people up to snuff.
Yeah, it's
All
fine.
right. All right, Atros, what would you like to do next? That's it. You're done.
Is the cat still on me?
Yes, because it didn't
Basically, I'm
get
asking,
pushed.
do I get an attack of opportunity? Do I get an attack of opportunity if I move?
Not from the cat, but Isio would take a swing at you.
Yeah. All right, then I'll stay here.
All right. Well done. Ronald, you're up. I bet you wish you had your rage up when all this started.
Mm-hmm. So rage, and I'm assuming I need to rip this cat off of his face.
You sure can attack that cat.
Can I attack the cat? Can I attack the cat without?
You can, as far as I'm aware.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about accidentally smashing
No.
Atros in the face.
Yeah, there will no.
And will attacking the cat cause it to dislodge from Atros's face?
If you kill it.
Okay, but if I grapple it, that would dislodge it from his face.
Only if you then drag it a square away.
So, do you want to suplex a cat or just hit it? Because that's the mental image I got. Was you grabbing it and then immediately suplexing it backwards. Like that.
Because the cat's going to go. But it's a cat, so there's a good chance I could kill it if I hit it. If I don't hit it...
I mean, if you don't hit it, you weren't going to hit anyone else. You wouldn't hit it with your grapple either, so...
All right, smash the cat with the Warhammer. Pretty sure it's going to smash the cat.
It does indeed smash a cat. Go ahead and click the roll damage button.
Let's see. So that's going to be 5. That's 6 damage to said cat.
Hey, it's more because you're raging.
I added the rage.
No, you said 6. Is it only +1 for now?
You know what? It might be +2. Hold on. I haven't hit something with a rage in a while. Where the hell is advantage on strength and +2? Yeah. Okay. So that's 7 damage.
7. Okay. Yeah, that is either way. It is a dead cat, but now the cat is like hissing and smoking.
Still hissing?
It's about to explode.
No, not like hissing, more like hissing.
Like steam hissing.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a dead hissing cat.
All right. My life is weird now. Hey, look, guys. Look. You have a cat that you can now use for your sacrifice. There you go.
Does it have a soul? It was summoned.
Yeah, it is a soulless cat.
Well, it depends, because if it was summoned, if it's a familiar, it doesn't get attacks. That's my turn, by the way.
It is your
Heal for the love of God.
Okay. So I can use my channel divinity to preserve life. I have 15 points to divide between, I guess, the 4 of us that are most damaged at the moment.
Up to half.
Up to
what is the
half.
range on it?
30 feet.
I think
long.
I think you own. No, that's actually short.
For a heal spell, that's long.
And I think that does hit everyone.
I guess nobody's like under half per se, so I don't have enough points to divide between people.
What? Ronald's under half.
I'm under half. Edric's under half. Atros is under half. I can't see your HP.
Right.
You're under half.
I am under half. Okay, so I do have 4. Oh God, how many? I guess bring everybody up to half. I'm sure 15 should supply that.
I might eat a lot of that. Let's see.
You would eat 8 of that, Frank.
Yeah.
Okay, so he gets 8. That's I'm bad at math. 6.
7 left.
7.
7 left. Do you want to throw 1 on Edric so he's not dying anymore?
1 on Edric, definitely. That's 6. Then Atros, how many do you need?
He could do
I mean,
3.
I'll probably be backing up. You can give it to Lyra if you want, and yourself too,
Lyra
since you guys are a little bit
can
more.
not take any.
Already at half.
Oh, okay. Then sure.
Since they're targeting you, I would like to heal you to half.
All right, that's fine.
So 3 to Atros, and then however many to yourself.
That would leave 3 for myself, and I.
Well, there you go.
Alright, that
all
works.
spent now.
Oh, thanks for the heal. And I can use my bonus action to get my spiritual weapon in play. Can I attack on the turn that I summon it?
I believe that is part of the spell, yes.
Perfect. I place it way back here.
Exactly where it should go. That does hit. And she has no concentrations she needs to check. So, is there anything else that you need to do?
I don't think there's anything else I can do. I'll just go ahead and end my turn.
Whoops. Sorry, I think I already had. Lyra, you're up. Ignore the turn order.
Okay, I'm gonna actually use my rapier, which has 5-foot reach, on Isio from where I am.
You have to move forward.
No. It's not
Huh?
an additional 5 feet of reach.
Ah, darn. Okay, then I'm just gonna keep where I am at and use my short bow again.
Sounds good. That will hit.
And this time I do get sneak attack.
You do. And you catch Isio by surprise because he's sitting there watching Ronald murder a cat. Anything else you would like to do?
No, I think that's it.
Zamar, what would you like to do?
Vicious mockery on Skadrick.
Not your day. He also saves.
Okay.
So, everyone adjacent to the cat, which is that group, needs to go ahead and make a Constitution save DC 12. Or I guess what remains of said cat. Isio is fine.
Nope.
Can I point out something just to make? Oh, it doesn't matter.
What were you going to point out?
The location of the cat, but it doesn't matter.
Everyone who failed their save needs to take 2 points of acid damage as the giant cloud of decayed cat explodes outward, which puts Edric unconscious again.
God damn.
I know, you just fixed that, wizard.
Do we take 1 if we saved?
Oh no, you take nothing if you saved.
Wonderful.
Pretty low down there too.
Yeah. So she sees that there's this annoying spiritual weapon there, and she's going to go ahead and just move so that, Skadrick is between her and the weapon. She is going to attempt to disrupt Ariel by throwing a Eldritch Blast in your face. And then she fails.
Suck it.
She says, look, why don't we just use Edric? No one likes him and no one will miss him.
Friends forever.
Buddies forever.
Unless you're Atros, who's like, yeah, sure.
I gotta admit,
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Edric's grown on me.
Strength check to throw his body into the room.
Yeah.
I support that.
Isio's going to go ahead and take his swing at Atros.
Ooh, you suck. Ha. I'm assuming that was 5 to hit.
That's five slashing damage, though I don't think.
Oh, damn.
Damage
It's 16 to hit.
16 to hit, yeah.
So close.
I still have healing to go, so nobody will die right away.
Well, that's good.
Right away.
The flaming fist that's in front of Ariel goes ahead and takes a swing at her.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
These rolls are
On the
amazing
other
tonight.
hand, that should be a really easy concentration check to make.
We could have just let him sacrifice the little murderer. Just going to throw that out there.
Wait, I have to make a concentration check?
Yes, to not lose your spiritual weapon.
Aha. I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking for where I need to find that, and I'm not sure where it is.
I think for the most part, it's just a straight up Constitution save.
If that's the case.
Ooh.
Yeah, now I actually have to go look up the concentration, because that's something I always mess up. All right, concentration save.
DC is equals 10 or half the damage you take, whichever number is higher.
So you did not make 10. So your spiritual ninja goes away.
No.
Oh, it is a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, so did you add your proficiency or do clerics not get Constitution?
No
I
idea.
actually have +3 to Constitution.
Oh no, but your saving throw
No.
would let you add your proficiency if you're
Wisdom and charisma.
Oh.
So weird. All right, so yes, your ninja is gone.
He'll be back.
He'll be back.
Fair enough.
Soon you'll see.
The
Edric, make the
spiritual
death saving
weapon
throw.
is what we need. We're on our own.
That's, 1 failure, by the way.
Awesome. Wow. Wait, 10's not a
10,
failure.
10 to
I
save.
thought 1 to 10 is failure, 11 to 20 is success.
Mm-mm.
Now I have to look up that too. Oh my god, I'm so bad at everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 10 to 20. Yeah, 10 or higher.
Oh, okay, so it's okay. Excellent. So it's not 1 failure. Whatever. So, all right, Skadric did not get a good idea. He is going to go ahead and pull another dagger and move a little bit forward. And he's going to go ahead and fling it back at Atros. And miss. Atros, you're up. Are you going to cast Arms of Hadar again?
No, I don't have a spell slot for it.
Thank God.
Could be worse. Could have taken Hunger of Hadar, which is even worse. You're lucky it was only arms.
Oh God, what's this horror? Ah!
Okay, I'm going to try an Eldritch Blast Isio.
Good plan.
16.
I think that might actually hit. I need to double check. Yes, that will hit. And that's
Cool.
12 force damage.
Takes 12 force damage.
And he's pushed.
Yes, he is pushed back 10.
Okay. Look, you're
2 more levels, I'll get the second attack with Eldritch Blast. But yeah, 12 force damage. So cool. And then I am going to, now that things are off my face,
Run away!
shift. Oh, Eldritch Blast has like a 120-foot range. No. I added the bonuses that give it a 300-foot range, so I can attack him from down the block.
You have to be able to see.
Yeah, so just gotta back up. I'm backing up. Cool.
Sounds good. Ronald, you're up.
Good move.
All right.
Is there more to it?
No, I was just going to end my turn by just moving up. Smashy face. ECO, because apparently he doesn't want to be friends.
Sounds good.
Oh, I'm gonna add a D6 to that. Maybe what is he wearing?
Let's see. He's got medium armor, so probably like. If it makes you feel better, Atros rolled a 16 and hit.
I know, which means I'd have to roll really high and no shield, right? Or does he have
No
a shield?
shield. I know that the icons have shield.
All right.
That's no. Goodbye, bardic inspiration as opposed to inspiration. Me and the D&D designers have to talk about naming things.
Mm-hmm. I think that's it because I can't use a potion yet. That's it.
All right, Ariel, you're up.
Oh man. Since we're blocking the door, that's a good. But it doesn't stop people from hitting Atros technically, right? As far as magic goes.
Yeah, magic could still get to your back line.
But
Yeah,
he
but
gets
I'll
a
be
+2 now for his armor.
True that. Then I'll hold off on, I guess, so I can heal one of us, or should I attack? Do you think, friend?
That is on you. I'm pretty sure I'm fine. I'm more worried about you.
Okay, I'll just give myself cure wounds.
Sounds good.
Did it click?
Yeah, it hasn't come through yet.
There we
it
go.
is.
And then keep in mind you add more to that.
Yeah, it's +5.
Yeah, I think it's adding the +5. For some reason, it can tell that she's got the life domain, but it can't tell when you're raging.
Well, no, before it wasn't counting the life domain. So unless they made a change to it.
I'm back up to full.
Excellent.
As I can use my bonus action to get that spiritual weapon back.
You already cast a spell this turn.
Then I guess I can't do anything, huh?
That is.
You can dance.
Can I take a defensive action?
No.
All right, then I just live here now. Next turn.
Lyra, you're up.
If you want
Okay, Lyra will aim at Istio through her friends who are blocking the way.
Fair.
Nope.
No, your friends are in the way, and because you care about not hurting them, along with the fact that he's got armor, none of that is any good luck for you. Zamar, you are, however, up unless Lyra wants to move or do things.
Nope.
vicious mockery on the elf. Your cat smells bad.
I'll just get another one.
Your cat smells bad and you should feel bad.
What are you feeding that smelly cat?
She made her save, yeah.
I really just need to start shooting, but
Speaking of the elf, she's not got a really good line of sight on anyone here except for Ronald if she moves here. So guess what, Ronald? You're getting shot.
Cool. Ow. I didn't mean that cool.
And 7 points of force damage, and you are pushed.
Oh, that's not good.
No, not particularly. And I assume that it's actually not 7 because you're raging.
Correct. I am making my adjustments.
So Isio is going to go ahead and move forward and take a swing at Ariel because they're trying to keep sight lines open. And
go ahead and try.
He tries and fails. The second guy takes a swing, and I believe that's also a failure.
It is.
Oh, my muscles are so big. Oh.
So much flexing.
There is Edric's first failed death saving throw.
Oh, crap, I forgot about him.
It's fine.
He's got to fail 2 more times. He's fine. So Skadric is going to delay till the end of the round to see what happens, making his initiative forever that. Atros, you're up.
Cool. So I'm assuming. Nice. So we're going to try that Eldritch Blast again.
Nope.
12?
Sorry.
Nah, I didn't figure.
No luck on a 12.
Oh, well. At least it's double digits today.
You did somewhat at some point.
So I hit the guy last turn.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You did well.
And the turn before.
You're up.
Oh, hey, look at that. I am. Smash. Try to smash. Warhammer to face.
Smash attempt processing. That
16?
will hit.
That's going to be 7 damage.
All right, Ariel, you're up. Unless I'm pretty sure Frank is done.
I am done. I got nothing else. Life as a barbarian is boring until level 5.
And then you become a bear.
Then I become a bear.
So it has nothing to do with being a barbarian. That makes being a barbarian.
A barbarian.
Oh, acceptable.
Hey, Ronald, did you want any healing or do you want me to ignore you a little longer?
Ignore me a little longer.
All right. So I'm going to smash the friend in front of you, actually, and help out.
Wait. But if you're ignoring him, doesn't that mean you should heal him?
Shut up. God damn it.
Ignoring his health for now.
Got it. Okay, so you're smacking someone, Isio or the unnamed dude?
Isio.
Yeah, we should focus fire on Isio so we can kill someone that they can use to sacrifice.
15 will hit.
Why does it give me so many options?
Because you could use it two-handed.
Oh, fair. No, I've only done 1, so 9.
All right. Which brings us to Skadric, who is going to...
I have a bonus action.
You do? What are you going to do with your bonus action?
Spiritual weapon, baby.
Excellent. Where does it go? You have control of it. You can put it wherever you want.
I do. I was trying to find him. I put him back. Remember me, bitch?
Excellent. And it gets to attack. So go ahead and make her life
I'm
miserable.
getting the right page.
I know. See, Frank, I always used to make fun of that whole 3 monitor thing.
I'm at 4.
Yeah, I'm starting to think like a 3rd monitor is not that bad of an idea. I could just put one thing that I never need to move right up there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, monitors are the way to go.
A 13 is not good enough to hit.
To hit the warlock?
Yeah. No.
Oh, man.
Now I end my turn.
All right. Skadric just slides on in there.
Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Who's he attacking?
He just slides right up and stabs Isio in the back, killing him.
Hey. Well, we've got our dead body.
That's actually what he says, is like, there, no one here likes anyone here, so let's just end it now. Lyra, it's up to you. Are you ending this now?
Yeah, we might as well make his death worth it.
So Lyra is going to hold off on anything, right?
Yep.
Is there anything you want to do with your turn that isn't attacking someone but is still an action?
You could always postpone your initiative and make a decision later.
Should I waste a healing potion on Edric?
I wouldn't worry about it.
I mean, you could just take an action to make a heal check to try and stabilize him. I'm sorry, a medicine check.
Oh, am I able to do that?
Yes, even if you're untrained, it's only a DC 10.
Don't you need a kit to do that, though?
I sure do. I just assumed you guys were adventurers and had those things on hand.
Can I pass one off to her real quick?
On your turn, as part of your free item interaction. Oh, wait, but you have stuff in your hands, so no. Not unless you want to drop something.
I just take it off of her?
Well... no, because you would have to go through her bag. Like, you don't know where it is. It would be your action to get it, and then you don't have an action to help Edric. Well, you could just do it next turn. So you could steal it from her right now and then use it. Then next turn you'll have it. Is that shaking your head like don't do that, or like I can't believe we're brought to this?
It's the don't do it.
I'm just gonna stand here.
Zamar, what about you? Are you trained in medicine and do you have a healer's kit?
I'm betting you I don't. Is Isio dead or just down?
Isio's dead because he's not important enough.
And they did not ask a question?
Not yet, no.
I guess I'm a little confused.
Is your action asking a question?
Is that what I need to do?
Don't ask any questions.
Why not?
Oh.
Why indeed?
So I think that moment right there is where we should stop, since we just hit 3:00 and I know Stats has to leave. And I feel like that is the perfect cliffhanger of, does Kane, or was it Zamar, ask the question and completely throw this entire thing for a loop?
Last time we ended because you tried to burn a boat. It's like you're a cliffhanger, Lord.
Are we in agreement on this?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
All right.
It also gives you like a few weeks to figure out what your question's going to
You're telling
be.
me to think of a question? I better think of a good one.
All right. Well then.
Is such a jerk.
Yes. So on that note, we will end on that great cliffhanger of the what are we going to do with the dead body in a single question. Join us next time, which I don't have a date because there's so much going on in the next month or so, but we shall see. Thank you all for joining the McNugget Gang. See you next time.
Bye.